Alright, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Call Halal Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to you brothers pushing the word and truth. And it should have been first and foremost, but you know, all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah for this knowledge, you know, this wisdom that we get through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. And it all started with our apostles, the elders, and we heard the word. And with sincerity, we go out and teach the word, and that's what we're speaking to, those brothers that heard the word and they went out and spoke the word with hopes that they be delivered in these trying times that we're coming into. Because truly, we in those times, you know, the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah is ratcheting it up, because the gates of the doors of mercy are starting to close. You know, surely but surely they're going to close. We're coming into that time, so. You know, I'm gonna just do this video on you know, some prophecy, you know, and whatever comes out is through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. You know, now the scripture I had in mind that I wanted to bring out is Isaiah the 34th chapter, which is prophecy, and it covers a whole range of topics when coming to when talking about the prophecies, as far as this third world war. Which it is going to come to pass. This third world war is going to come to pass, and a lot of men are going to die. You know, you see these Edomites walking in the streets. They're going to be shipped over to the Middle East, and they're not going to come back. It's going to be a great time of sorrow in the houses of America, within the walls and within these different dwellings. You know, because the average house in America, well, you know, you have small houses, you know, in America, but the average house size in America is between 1,000 square feet and 3,000 square feet. That's the ranges of the houses in America. The average house, now you have more houses, but within these different houses, these people are going to be in mourning, man. You know, they're going to be in mourning, and their materialistic, their materials or things that they've accumulated throughout their lifetime is going to be taken away from them. It's going to become nothing. You know, all their comforts are going to be taken away, man. So we're just going to get into the scriptures and let the spirit work. But this is the book of Isaiah, the 34th chapter. And, you know, I'm reading out the Red Bible, which Elder Gabar spoke about. And through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, I was blessed to get a copy of it, you know, through a brother, through a brother that exemplifies charity, you know, charity. And there's one thing in particular he always says. He says, I'll get it back, you know. In one way or another, when you do charity, you get it back in one way or another, whether it be through the knowledge, increasing your knowledge of this knowledge, or you know, receiving revelations, or you know, a monetary gain, which is carnal, but more so you want to get that spiritual gain, man. You know. But now, and within the subheading it says judgments with which. I'm reading it verbatim. God avengeth his church, certainty of the prophecy. And this prophecy that I'm gonna read is something that's gonna happen for certain. And right now we see it manifesting right in front of our face. All you gotta do is turn on the news, go to your local YouTube channel, go to Press TV, go to RT, you know, go to various YouTube channels that'll show you that the nations are preparing for war. There's many pinups talking about World War III being a possibility on YouTube, you know. So it says, Isaiah 34:1 says, "Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it." So this is Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah speaking, man. He's speaking through his prophet Isaiah, right? And he's telling all the nations to come here. That's why we out on the highways and byways, because all the nations have to come to hear this word. And we got to start proclaiming these prophecies, man, of the coming destruction, of the coming World War III, you know, of the nuclear missiles coming to America. Because that's going to be one of the consequences of starting a third world war over there in the Middle East, man. Right? You know, and it was ordained, this was to come, it's ordained by the Heavenly Father, by God, you know, or by Yahweh. We know the power that created the heaven and universe. We know his name to be Yahweh. And we know his name, we know the name of his son. His name is Yahweh Shah. right? And he have ordained these things to his word. He've ordained these things to his word. These things must come to pass. And as we being part of the churches, the Israelites, mainly the elect, you know, and the elect, the trine of the elect is through GMS, Great Millstone, which that rock, you know, that rock, man, right? And that's you know, we're gonna be tried. We're gonna have that weight upon us, man. All right, so let me see something real quick, cause I'm reading the prophecy in the book of Isaiah. I wanted to see if I seen any articles that come up. Yeah. I could bring this out, man. Lord's will, if the Spirit bring it out. But we can get into a quick topic, you know. But you know, ultimately, the destruction is coming. Now we read in Isaiah 1. It says, "Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein." Now, let's see. When you look up the word hearken and hearken, the word right there is quashab, right? You have a qua, you have a sha, and you have a ba. Yep, you have the quashab, which that word means to hear, be attentive, heed, incline, attend, hearken, pay attention, listen. You're gonna have to listen to the prophets, the words of the Heavenly Father's men that He's set up, that He's ordained. You're gonna have, in order to hear the word, you're gonna have to listen to His prophets, man, who have the Spirit. Like the scriptures say, the spirit of the prophets is subject to the prophets. Verse 34:1, it says, "Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He have utterly destroyed them. He have delivered them to the slaughter." Now the word indignation means righteous anger. Now the Lord's righteous anger is upon all of these nations. Now you would know these nations as nations. Let's go through a list of nations whose the Lord's indignation is upon. You know, and it's going to come upon these nations. Let's look at the Persians, the so-called Iranians. The Lord's indignation is upon them. Let's look at the Moabites over there, the Chinese, you know, the Koreans, whether it be north or south. The Lord's indignation is upon them. The Ammonites, the so-called Japanese, the Lord's indignation is upon them. The sons of Ham, the Lord's indignation are upon them. All of these men are going to partake in these third world wars. Now these nations are known as the children of men. Okay? Matter of fact, the children of men. And the Lord's indignation is upon the children of men and the children of the wicked. Right? So the children of men are these other nations. The children of the wicked is Esau. Okay? Now, let me see if I can. Now this is the book of Proverbs 15:11. It says, "Hell and destruction are before the Lord. How much more then the hearts of the children of men?" Okay? Because if hell and destruction are before the Lord, how much more the hell and destruction are the hearts of the children of men, you know? Right? Let's find something else. Also, the children of men in the scriptures, let me see. The scriptures speak about I believe the sons of men. Now, it's one particular scripture that I was looking for, but I'm gonna keep to the topic. If it come out, man, the spirit will bring it out. But this is back in Isaiah 34:1. It says, "Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation, the Lord's righteous anger of the Lord is upon all nations." And we mentioned the nations. We mentioned Esau. We mentioned these other nations. And it said, "He have utterly destroyed them. He have delivered them to the slaughter." And he have utterly destroyed them. You know, that's why it's going to be a lot of women weeping. And that's mentioned in the book of 2nd Ezra too. Of women weeping, being sorrowful. Right? Women weeping, being sorrowful. And then yeah, here it goes. Here it is right here. This is 2nd Ezra 16, verse. I'm gonna start at 31. It says, "Even so, in those days there shall be 3 or 4 left of them that search their houses with the sword, and the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travail therethrough. The virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine." And you know war brings famine, right? But the scriptures say, "In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed." And we spoke about that. That's why we're calling to all the nations to hear and hearken to this message that's coming out. Okay, if you want to say that Trump's going to start the Third World War, well, this is what's going to happen. All right, women are going to lose their husbands as a direct as the policy of the American government. Or that's the spirit, because we're going to go in to deep state, and we're going to just read about it, or the deep state, so to speak, man. The deep state, which is, it's not really Trump, man. It's the people that's behind Trump that you don't see. They're pushing the buttons. They're controlling the agenda of the people, man. Trump is not in control. If these idiots actually think that Trump is in control, Trump is not in control, man. Ultimately, it's Yahweh Bashim Yahushua in control, but it's people that the Lord is putting the spirit upon to put the spirit to give Trump the order and the command and create the illusion that Trump's a racist or whatever they deem him to be, or whatever people believe him to be, man. But the reason why these things is happening is because they're gonna start the war. They're gonna give the orders to put more soldiers in the Middle East, man. You know, they're gonna give orders, and they're gonna use Trump to make the message, to bring that message out. And people are going to be against that message. People are going to be against the policies, you know. But not to stray off topic, but this is what's going to bring that Third World War on. And you know, the nations coming together, all the nations, because the Lord's indignation is upon all the armies, right? And he's going to pour forth destruction, and that destruction that's poured upon those soldiers over there in the Middle East is going to fulfill the prophecy in 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter, which I just read, man. You know. So, I mean, this is actually being manifest before your eyes, you know, and we're showing you how it's going to happen, you know. Now, let's see. All right, let's go into this article, because I said if the spirit brought it out. I'm just going to read an excerpt of it, and maybe I'll go into it based upon what I'm reading. So this, when you click on Blacklisted News, on the first page it gives a list of articles, and you just read through them, and you see whichever one point to prophecy, so to speak, or what information you can extrapolate out of the article, you know. So you have, and I didn't even go through this. I go through this from time to time, but it says aristocracy deceives public about the deep state. Now, deep state, we got a Wikipedia and see what happens. But this article, they might say this is fake news. But when you get into this article, right, it says aristocracy deceives public about the deep state. Now this is published March 3rd, 2017, submitted by Eric Zuesse. That's Zuesse, originally posted at strategicculture.org. So these are some just writers, some independent, some Edomites, some Edomites. Now, the deep state, loosely synonymous with the shadow government. Okay, so the deep state is the shadow government. That's another word, code word for shadow government. The deep state, shadow government. See, I said people are behind Trump to push that illusion. And you got niggas, pundits, you got radio hosts, you got talk show. They're out to perpetuate that illusion that the deep state has created. You know, so you have a left, you have a right paradigm, you know. It's all smoke and mirrors, man. Because behind the scenes, all hell's about to break loose, man. That's all it is. So the shadow government, through their media, through their whole establishment, sets up an illusion for the people to believe. So these people believe Trump's a racist, Trump's this, Trump's that, and they bring the illusion that what Trump's policies is destroying America or whatever. This is nothing but Hegelian dialectic. They want to bring the people to the streets to bring forth martial law, and Trump's going to have to bring martial law because of the destabilization of your society, the erosion of what is it? They call it civil unrest, man. To quell civil unrest, you have to bring in law and order, and Trump is all about law and order, man. But the deep state is the ones behind it that's creating the illusion that these people believe. They go to the streets because they don't understand what's going on. So they're falling forth into the agenda. You listen to the radio, okay, so that message that Trump is a racist, Trump is against women, this and that, you know. Not standing up for Trump, but these are this is what is being pushed, you know. More people are protesting. There's more groups, and these groups are set up by George Soros and other members of the deep state. They put money into these groups, man. They put money into these groups, and some of these groups are going to turn and try to fight against the government. They're going to do terrorist acts, you know. Even guys like General Yohanna, they might try to put a case on them and bring it out into the media. See, this is how Esau works, man. Now, we was talking about the deep state, but let's see. It says, however, one of the deep state's many agents, see, they have many agents, Mack and Binder, came out with a book in 2013, Deep State. He's an insider. This guy, his name is Mark M. Binder. That's MarkAmbinder. And Binder. You know, and then he came out. He said he came out with a book called Deep State Inside Government Secrecy Industry. Government Secrecy Industry. Much praised by others in the deep state agents such as Martha Raddatz. That's Raddatz. Sounds like a rat. Sounds like an Amalekite woman, man. Jeremy Skill. I'm going to spell it Scahill, and Peter Bergen. And you got to remember that these Amalekites changed their names. You know, they changed their last names, man. So it's a lot of Amalekites in the deep state, man, or the shadow government. Those are the so-called Jews, man. And recently you had a string of Jews, Jewish community centers being, what is it called, bomb threats coming in on them. That's why these people don't, because you're part of the deep state, and these average Edomites are waking up to their bullshit, man. You know, and we're gonna have acts of these Edomites against Edomites, like the scriptures say. If Satan be divided against Satan, you're gonna have Amalekites against common